Hello YouTube, back with the next MLP point of view, and today we're doing something a little bit differently today. It's more of a mysteries on G3 because there's a whole lot of unanswered questions regarding both, the movies, the toys that were released, and stuff like that. I've already kind of gone through the movie that was scheduled for fall 2003. I'm going to kind of skip over that one. And that was the movie that was part of the really ambitious plan by Hasbro, where they wanted to, release, 1,200 movies in like 18 months or something random like that. It was pretty ridiculous. There was no way they could have gotten it done. And it kind of makes you wonder what made them think that was going to be a good idea. Now, it's possible. There's a lot of couple possibilities I can think of for that. Well, first of all, they could have had it all planned out, and things came up over time that prevented them from getting it done. There was a hitch releasing this movie, and this movie wasn't panning out. I think, it was going to be a mixture of live action and animation. So, or there was just the people weren't available at the time. But obviously, things did not go as planned because they ended up canceling the entire idea, and we never got the movie. And it's also possible that the movies we ended up getting were later reused from this movie. Obviously, they weren't everything. They may have taken bits from that and made what we have today, including the world's biggest tea party, which was live action. It's certainly possible that was kind of the general sense of what we're going to get ourselves, what we would have seen if we were going to see this movie in theaters or on DVD. And another mystery is, okay, we got, the only person who's not credited in the Very Minty Christmas, movie is the one that sings the first version of That's What I Love About Christmas. And it's unclear as to why. We don't know who sings it. We don't know why they were left out. I suspect it was probably because they wanted, privacy. It seems that Wendy Wagner seems to be known for having herself not credited anywhere. Seems like wherever she seems to request it, when she goes to do these, works on these projects with other people. She ends up, I guess, valuing her privacy. I'm not quite sure what the whole deal is with that, but she's certainly a logical candidate for who sings the song, although I've never heard her sing before, so there's no way to know for sure. I tried contacting her on Facebook, but no response as of yet. I did the only way I know this as a possibility is I contacted Lorraine Feather, who actually did the lyrics for that song. So that's who she thought was the one who did it. And it seems plausible, at least. I mean, there's no guarantee it's her, but I definitely respect her for not wanting to do it. And it makes sense. She's not credited. Although it does seem kind of odd, though, when you think about it. It's the only song in the movie that's not actually credited to anyone. It has the person who wrote it, but not the person who actually sang it. I mean, obviously, I don't think it was a deliberate by Hasbro. I mean, maybe it was an oversight, but I doubt that. I think they would have been, whoever is behind the credits would have been very, cognizant to actually include that in. It's something you can't really forget. I mean, you're basically paying them to work work for you for a certain period of time. And this brings up, on the next subject, going on to there's two ponies that were released as toys, but they weren't named unless you actually bought them. There's Ribbons and Bows. They were two baby ponies. They were released during the holidays, and they have no names on them whatsoever. The only way you know who they are is when they come up at the register. You bring them up to the register, and that's when their names come up. They don't come up any other time. It's unclear as to why, whether it was an oversight. They may have been in a rush to get things out and didn't, have time to actually put the names on them. The one would have thought that it's such a small task that it could have easily been done. We don't know, and of course, the other possibility is they didn't have the room. I doubt it, considering I don't think the names were all that long to actually fit on the packaging. They could have easily made it just a little bit smaller, and it would probably fit just fine. But it does seem kind of weird. I mean, they're like the only ones that don't have artwork, that don't have names on them at all, even though. So someone who bought them may have been questioning, okay, is this even legitimate? I mean, it has all the right details and everything, but it doesn't have the name on it. I mean, as far as I can tell, there are no other characters that were released as toys that don't have a name somewhere on the packaging. And then that kind of brings up another point in a similar manner with Pepperberry. Why did she not have artwork for her backcard story? I mean, some are part of playsets, but she's not part of a playset. She's kind of exclusive. I think she's exclusive to KB Toys, but could be down to time. Could be, although they did release the actual toy, so just forgot the artwork. I don't think she has a story. She doesn't have anything to go. No cartoon artwork to go with that. So it's kind of unclear as to what went wrong, if anything, when that character was released as a toy. I mean, she didn't appear in any of the movies, so officially she's not a character, but technically she is, because, I mean, she's part of the franchise, so kind of by default. And then it's kind of more, this is more of an interesting question, kind of like, where did Minty's love of socks come from? I mean, my suspicion is maybe she got socks for Christmas, and they were like her favorite colors, and she kind of went from there. Unclear. I mean, it could very well be that, that could be it. I mean, maybe she was... We won't know, because, I mean, the movie didn't really dive into it. We just kind of know she already loves them by this point, so I guess sometime between, let's see, Minty Christmas, and then there's... I think... Somewhere, I guess, between A Charming Birthday and A Very Minty Christmas, she actually found a love of socks. We won't know. It could have been very well set before the movie. It's possible that we could have found out in that movie that was never released. It's very possible that we could have easily found that out. We could have had a transition as to where that came about. So that's a good enough batch to start. So that's my My MLP G3 Mysteries video. Thanks for watching.